Hello children, welcome to the video lecture series of grade 10 chemistry. Today we will discuss some case study questions from the first lesson. Okay, so read the passage given below and answer any four of the following questions. Usually this kind of questions are common nowadays in the CBSE question paper. So a passage will be given to you and you need to read and understand the passage and then you have to answer any four questions. So total there will be 5 questions. So you can choose any 4. Okay, so we'll start now. In a redox reaction, okay, both oxidation. So redox reaction means both oxidation as well as reduction takes place together. Oxidation involves loss of electrons, while reduction involves the gain of electrons. The redox reaction may involve a combination of atoms and molecules, displacement of metals or non-metals. So this is the passage given, and one example is also given. Copper sulfate plus zinc will give you the products zinc sulfate and copper. Displacement of copper metal from its compound. So this is the paragraph given. So we need to answer any 4 questions from the given 5 questions. So let us start one by one. The first one is, in the above reaction, which of the following gets reduced? Okay. So it's already given in the paragraph that oxidation involves loss of electrons and reduction involves the gain of electrons. Okay. So which of the following gets reduced? So which means that reduction usually undergoes for copper sulfate. What is reduction? Reduction is the loss of oxygen. So copper sulfate already has oxygen. Copper sulfate, it is already having oxygen. So during this reaction, this oxygen is transferring to zinc atom. So zinc will be converting to zinc sulfate. Okay. So copper sulfate will undergo reduction and zinc will undergo oxidation. Okay. So this in this reaction, the substance get reduced as copper sulfate, and the zinc gets oxidized. Then second question. The following the oxidizing agent generally. So what is an oxidizing agent? Oxidizing agent means a substance which carry oxygen. Substance which carry oxygen. So which substance is carrying oxygen here? That is again copper sulfate. So what is happening to copper sulfate? I already told it undergo reduction. So what is reduction? Reduction involves the gain of electrons. Okay. So our answer is gain of the electrons or gains electrons. Now the third question, identify the oxidizing agent and reducing agent in the above reaction. So oxidizing agent is copper and the reducing agent is zinc. Okay. Now fourth question, identify the type of reaction. What is the type of reaction? So when you look at this reaction, you can see copper sulfate reacts with the zinc and zinc sulfate and copper is formed, which means it's a simple displacement reaction, or simply we say it's a displacement reaction. So this is the answer. Now the fifth one, based on the electrolysis of different solutions in water, comment whose electrolysis will be the fastest. So there is a graph given here. So when you look at the graph, you can see they have given some kind of substance name, like one is baking soda, lemon water, salt and vinegar. So these are the different solutions, and also given the average time for the produce, which means the product, how much time they are taking for the electrolysis. So which one will be having the highest average? So you can easily find that the graph is showing very high for vinegar. So the electrolysis will be fastest for vinegar. Okay. Now, so this is the first set of case study questions. Now we'll move on to the second set now. Second set we have, again I have taken from the same lesson, chemical reactions and equations. Okay, this is the second set, chemical reactions and equations. Now again, as you know, one paragraph is given here and you have to answer any 4 questions. Let us read one by one. Chemical reactions and equations, the second set. This is the paragraph given. A schematic representation of any chemical reaction with the help of symbols and formulas of various species is called a chemical reaction. Chemical equation. A chemical equation should include all the information regarding the reaction. It should represent a true chemical change. It should be balanced. It should be molecular, and it should represent the change in temperature. So it's given what are the characteristics of a chemical reaction. And the picture also given there, chemical reactions and equations. Okay, this is the picture they have given. So the first question is, select the combination reaction. And there are one, two, three. Three equations are given there, and you need to select the combination reaction. Okay. So what is a combination reaction? In a combination reaction, two substances combining together. If you have a substance A, it will be combining together with B and form a product AB. This is called a combination reaction. So when you look at these examples given there, 2H2 plus O2 will give you 2H2O. Then C plus O2 giving CO2. Then Ca plus H2O will give you CaOH twice. That is calcium hydroxide. So when you look at these reactions, you can see all of these are combination reactions. Okay. So your answer will be all of this. All of these are combination reaction. Okay. Now, second question. Which of the following is not a thermal decomposition reaction? What is a thermal decomposition reaction? As the name indicate, a thermal decomposition means, okay, a decomposition in which it undergoes in presence of heat. That is thermal decomposition. Okay. Again, so the question is asking about not a thermal decomposition reaction. So calcium carbonate, on heating you will get CaO plus CO2. So this is a heat, thermal decomposition. This triangle represents heat. Okay. Heat, usually in chemical reaction we will put a triangle small. This is called a delta. So we will represent by a small triangle. So calcium, this is thermal decomposition. FeSO4 also thermal decomposition. Pb nitrate, lead nitrate is also thermal decomposition. What about sodium chloride? Sodium chloride aqueous solution undergo Na plus and Cl minus. So this is the only electrolytic decomposition. So our answer is NaCl. This is not a thermal decomposition reaction. This one is electrolytic decomposition reaction. Electrolytic decomposition. Okay. Now the third question. The formation of polythene from ethane is an example of, so ethane undergo a reaction, okay, and it forms polyethene. So what is the type of reaction they're asking? Is it a neutralization reaction or polymerization, displacement and decomposition? You have not studied this reaction in the first lesson. This reaction we called a polymerization reaction. What is polymerization reaction? Polymerization means, okay, a single unit will undergo combination of different molecules together. For example, if you are taking a substance N, A, and N number of molecules will combine together, large number of molecules will combine together, and you will get a products like A, like that. Okay. So this is called a polymerization reaction. N times it will occur. And this will be happening in presence of heat and high heat and temperature and pressure. So that is called a polymerization reaction. So polymerization, an example here given is ethane. Undergo polymerization to form polyethane. Now, fourth question is, which of the following elements undergo corrosion? Okay, gold, as you know, it is not undergoing any corrosion. Silver, if you have any silver articles, when you buy that silver articles, okay, it will be having very nice silver color. But after some time, maybe 6 months or 10 months time, okay, it undergo corrosion. Silver will reacts with the hydrogen sulfide present in the silver formula is Ag. It will undergo reaction with the hydrogen sulfide in the atmosphere and form silver sulfide. Okay. So from these examples, the element which undergo corrosion is silver. Platinum is not undergoing any corrosion. Okay. Then the fifth one is the chemical reaction which produces heat is called endothermic, photochemical, exothermic, oxidation. And what is endothermic reaction? Endothermic reactions are reactions in which it consumes heat. For a reaction to occur, okay, you want to give heat. You should heat the substance, then only the reaction will occur. That is called endothermic. It consumes heat. What is photochemical reaction? Actually, it's a decomposition reaction. When you keep a substance in the open atmosphere, so it will absorb sunlight and it will undergo decomposition. That's called a photochemical decomposition or simply photochemical reaction. And third one is exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction is the reaction in which it produces heat. So our answer is exothermic reaction. Okay. What is oxidation? That we already discussed in the previous case study questions. Addition of oxygen is called a oxidation reaction or loss of electron. So this is the second set of case study questions. Now we'll move on to the third set. Okay. Now again read the following passage and answer any four questions. Okay, what is the paragraph about? 22 samples of toothpaste and hand washes were randomly collected from markets in Delhi and sent for research. Okay, what is the result? The analysis found one of the soap samples and four toothpaste samples contained the chemical beyond the permissible limit of 3000 ppm, parts per million. This is a unit to express the concentration. ppm means 3000 ppm, parts per million. You studied in grade 9 how to express the concentration of solution. We are taking mass percentage, volume percentage, or mass by volume percentage. This is another way to express the concentration of the substances in a mixture. It's called a parts per million. So, one soap sample and four toothpaste sample will contain the chemicals beyond the permissible limit, the allowed limit, that is 3000 parts per million. It's a disturbing trend that we find triclosan in such high concentration. Okay, so they have given a chemical name triclosan in such high concentration, which has long-term effects on health of children. Okay, so very important paragraph. Okay, let us look at the questions given below. Why toothpaste is used for cleaning tooth? I mean cleaning teeth. So it's basic in nature, acidic in nature, it's neutral in nature. None of this. Okay, so what is the first question answer? Why toothpaste is used for cleaning tooth? Why? Because our we are eating lot of substance, a lot of food from morning to till night. So these foods actually undergo decomposition or decay, and it will be so mostly our mouth will have acidic nature. So every time we have to use a toothpaste. So mostly we say the toothpaste are basic in nature so that it will undergo neutralization reaction. So mostly, always, not mostly, always the toothpaste is basic in nature. Then, second question. What is the chemical composition of tooth enamel? Which substance is present in our tooth enamel? Is it calcium nitrate or calcium phosphate or magnesium carbonate or zinc phosphate? Our tooth enamel contains calcium phosphate. Fine. Now, third question. How tooth enamel is damaged by chocolates and sweets? So they have given a 4 pH here. pH of mouth falls below 5.5. pH of mouth falls below 2. pH of the mouth rises to 8. pH of the mouth is 7. Okay. So we'll take from the last one to up. pH of the mouth is 7. That is not correct because I told before that we are eating lot of food. When it undergo decomposition, our mouth already producing some acidic substances. So pH mouth never occurs as 7. 7 is neutral. Then pH of the mouth rises to 8. That is an alkaline nature. That is not possible. Then pH of mouth falls below 2. Below 2 means it is highly acidic. It is not possible. pH of mouth falls below 5.5. Okay, this can be the correct answer now. pH of mouth falls below 5.5. Okay. Now, the fourth one, identify the toxic chemical found in toothpaste. So when we read that paragraph, a substance name they have given. What is that? Glycerol, sodium fluoride, sorbitol, triclosan. They have given the name triclosan. So the chemical which is above 3000 parts per million is triclosan. It is harmful to the children's health. Now the fifth question is, which year shows the maximum number of antibiotics discovered to keep pace with the new superbugs? Okay, so there's a diagram given here: 1890, 1900, then 1910, 1920, 1930. Okay, look at the picture given here. So 1940, look at the diagram. It's a bar chart given here: 1950, then 1960, 70, 80 to 2010. When you look at this diagram, you can see 1950 is the maximum number of antibiotic discovered. Okay, so our answer is this ninth one. Okay, it's 1950. Fine. So the answer is 1950. Thank you, children.